Yo, 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 it's your boy Ringo, back again with another video.
It's your girl Mello.
Ringo TV reactions. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Today what we want to talk about is a show that deals with our experience in North Carolina compared to New York. I'm going to share my experience. My wife going to share her experience. We're going to also deal with raising children and racism, prejudice, and so on and so forth, to kind of give people an understanding of what you can expect, I guess, in North Carolina compared to like New York. Because there's a lot of people that, believe it or not, is moving from New York and other places to North Carolina because they're tired of the city life. They may want to have a fresh new start. And I just want to kind of go through the motions of what I've been through or what I've experienced in this journey. I'm going to talk a little bit and then I'll let my wife pretty much chime in where need be, because there's also an important issue we want to address on this particular broadcast that is worthy of attention. I'm talking about serious attention. So if you're a parent, you're going to want to stay tuned. So, New York. New York is a fast-paced city. You know what I mean? It's very fast-paced, a lot of energy. It's a place where everything is right where you need it.
It's convenient.
Convenient stores. You got a transit system that is in place. Not a lot of people actually drive in New York, right, even though you have traffic and cars, but most people use public transportation. And then we become accustomed to this way of living, you know, so it's just in us. Right. Because I haven't had no car while I was in New York till I got to North Carolina.
Right, because we had no need for it.
Because there was really no need for it, because
I was so accustomed to running around.
Because the stores is right there. Right. If you had to go to a Target, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
You could just literally walk to Target. You can walk to the Barclays Center. You can walk
basically
to
anywhere.
Anywhere.
Take
like
the
you
train,
take the train, you're there in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you're there, you're cool. So New York is that place where if you want the fast life, you go to New York. New York is a money-making state, a state that deals with money. The prices of rent is very, very high.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get a house in New York, be prepared to spend $500,000 or more. And that's just for a basic.
Yeah, the food prices are ridiculous.
Food prices are through the roof, right? In my opinion, New York is not for families in terms of raising children. You could raise children, but it's not a family-orientated state. It's just really not.
And just be prepared to spend a lot of money.
You're going to be spending a lot of money.
You have to do a lot of overtime, working.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically slaving.
Basically what?
Slaving.
There you go. Slaving. I hope that y'all literally are paying attention, because most people that work in New York have to work at least 2 to 3 jobs. They literally working.
They do overtime,
triple time, double, triple time. And it's like when they look at their check looking crazy.
And they're constantly stressing about many things.
Bills, medical, you name it. It's happening. So New York has its good, bad, and ugly. For me personally, I got tired of the city life. I realized that I'm more mature. I realized that I got a family to take care of. So my priorities changed. It was no longer about me in terms of my own personal happiness. Not saying that I cannot do nice things for myself or my wife or whatever the case is. But for me personally, I saw a need to
have a change
for the empowerment and betterment of my children. And I saw a problem. I saw that if I keep them in New York, it's going to be problematic. And if you listen to my previous videos that my wife and I did in the streets, we talked about how with our elder daughter, she don't even want to be in North Carolina because she is accustomed to how New York is. And that is the problem that I was trying to avoid with our girls, because New York has a way of keeping you in. And before you know it, the youth is going to go astray. They're going to end up with the wrong kind of people doing the wrong thing. And there's a lot of things I can go into in this video, but I'm not going to go there. I may talk about certain issues in another video, perhaps, and go into further details about other topics. For example, those of you who are watching right now, me and my wife pretty much have a new channel that we pretty much started. We're not prepared to go live on the channel yet because there's some things we're taking care of. But this is pretty much the set of what we're going to be using when we go live on that particular channel. So make sure you subscribe to We Gotta Talk TV. That's We Gotta Talk TV, because we're going to be doing a lot of content about real world issues, family oriented topics, dating, marriage, relationship, business. We're going to be talking about all different types of topics that people will find very interesting coming from a husband and wife. A lot of times on social media, you have content creators, whether they're men or women, and they'll be talking about dating, relationships.
They're not even in it.
But they're not in what?
They're not in no relationship.
They're not in a relationship. So what does that mean?
They're not valid to talk, credible.
Well, they're not credible. They may have certain things that they talk about, but basically in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to somebody talk about dating and they don't even have a relationship, how can they give you any sort of advice?
And that's true. That's something we all need to think about, you know.
It's no different than a homeless man trying to teach you how to be successful financially. He's homeless, struggling, living in a box, panhandling. But he comes up to you and tell you, I got all the answers you need to be financially successful. Are you going to listen to him? I don't think so. And if you do, you would be insane. And that's exactly how it looked when you come online and you're listening to people that don't even have the results you seek. You want answers. You want solutions.
Real life issues.
You want to deal with what? Real life what?
Real life issues.
Real life issues. It's just like when I do my content, you have a lot of females, they'll be talking about me, saying, oh, you're too aggressive. Oh, you're disrespectful. Oh, you treat your wife bad. You're this and that. Those ladies who talk that type of talk, they don't even have a man. They don't even have a husband. Because I'm going to tell you straight up and down, if you ladies actually had a husband that was leading you, you would understand what it means.
Yeah.
You would understand what it means when a man is a protector, a provider, and a leader.
And just guiding you in the right direction.
But they don't understand that. They see that as, oh, I'm controlling. That's the famous word they love to use.
Bullying me.
I'm bullying. But yet, if a man is not leading his house, what's the first thing the woman say? Oh, you know, these men are dusty. Oh, the black woman is unprotected. No one's guiding her. No one is there for her. Where are the real men? But yet when you have a real man leading his house and making moves, people look at him as though he's some sort of bad guy. That's crazy. So getting back to the point that I was making about the girls. My goal is to put them in a better position in life where they're able to have opportunities that I never had growing up.
And that's one of the things that I love about my husband, that he strives for the family and he does his best to provide and lead and protect. That's all that's on his mind, is just to lead, guide, and protect his family, me and the girls.
And that's something people need to know. Go ahead, finish your point.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about my husband. that's the most valuable thing that a woman should look for in their man, their husband, whoever is guiding and leading and protecting them and showing them the way. And that's something that I see that a lot of women, they don't take heed to that, you know.
And why is that?
I guess they want to do their own thing, you know.
The reason why is because they never had a father in the home. The reason why women reject leadership, the reason why women will look at me and say, oh, I'm just being controlling and I'm a bully and I'm a this and I'm that and I'm too hard on you, is because they never had a father.
But growing up, I never had a dad in my home. But
you made the right choice.
Yes, I've learned to respect, you know, the leadership and role of my husband, you know, especially things that I don't know. I'm there to listen and take heed for him to lead me and guide me. That's the main issue, right? The main.
Women today don't want to be led because they see a man as if though he's taken away from who they are as a woman, not understanding that when you are under the protection of a man, you have to listen to this man. So,
in other words, they don't want to be submissive.
They don't want to be submissive because they never had any home training from their mother, because their mother wasn't submissive to nobody. Wow. And this is why we have so many problems when it comes to family and dating in today's day.
You know what? I've seen that growing up too, because my mom was a single mom. But I said to myself, I don't want to be that, like that, you know? And I just learned how to just, you know.
You learn how to do what you need to do.
And do what I have to do as a woman.
Because you matured.
Yeah, I matured.
A lot of women don't mature past 12. And this is what's the lady name? What's the lady name, man?
Wait.
What's her name? The lady that was in that video with Kevin Samuels. Remember I did the video? The Ali lady.
Oh, yeah.
Shahrazad,
Yeah,
I believe it is.
I was close.
Shahrazad Ali. She made a video and she talked about how the average woman in today's day haven't matured past the age of 12. And that's serious coming from a woman, because what she's basically saying is that you could get with a woman who's a grown woman, but she's still acting like a child mentally. You could be a grown man trying to lead a woman. She don't even want to be led. That's problematic. So in today's culture, a lot of times as men, we'll be trying to do our thing to lead and guide our women. But if they're not mature, then they're going to reject everything we do. And this is going to be frustrating for a lot of you brothers that really want to lead a home. So for me, all I think about is making sure that the family is good. So I had to make sacrifices to empower the family, because my wife don't like hearing me talk about this, but I always do this. And what I want to talk about is how I'm always saying, if something was to happen to me, what are you going to do? She don't like hearing me talk like that, because she's like, so are you planning on dying? It's not about planning on dying. It's about making sure that y'all good, making sure that y'all got things in order, so that if I'm departed and I'm no longer here financially, you're able to move forward. Yeah. You know, emotionally, you'll understand how to take care of the kids. You'll know how to keep the business going. So you'll know how to do this. You'll know how to do that.
Preparing the way.
Everything is in place for security purposes. It's no different than you having life insurance, medical insurance. These things are in place. Fire insurance, flood insurance, car insurance. It's not that you planning on crashing. It's not that you planning for a fire. These things are in place in case something happens. So as a father, as a husband, it's my priority and job and mission is to make sure that the family is provided for and taken care of. That's why I made this move to North Carolina.
So awesome.
And people get mad at me and they hate me for that, because they see in me what they hoped their father to be. And because their mom dropped the ball and their father was not in their life, when they see me operating in that capacity of a man as a father figure and a husband, they see the daddy they never grew up with. They see the daddy they always wanted. So a lot of times, especially as black men, they get mad at me because they look at themselves in their current state, and they get mad because they're not in a place in life where they would like to be. So they get jealous of me, not realizing that I'm a blueprint for a lot of you brothers to follow.
Yeah, but they know deep down inside.
They could be deep down inside all they want. They're not showing that respect.
That's true.
So they're never going to get there. Because you can't disrespect a man that's making moves. You can't disrespect a man that's holding down his family. That's crazy.
You have to respect, yeah.
You got to respect the brother that's doing his thing. Don't get mad at me for making moves and you failed. That's not my problem. If anything, learn from what I'm doing.
We made a lot of sacrifices and choices to get where we are.
A lot.
Just for us.
A lot.
You know.
And I'm still doing it.
Things like that. You have to get your credit tag. You know, you pay your bills and just do what's right.
A lot of people don't understand this. So getting back to the whole New York thing and the move to North Carolina, it's pretty much to provide a place where the family can grow and thrive. It's no different than when you have plants in a pot. You want your plants to grow. You want your plants to thrive. So you get a bigger space, a bigger pot, new fresh soil. That's what this place represents.
So can I talk about how I feel coming here?
Go ahead.
All right. How I feel coming. Okay. Let me see how I feel about coming to North Carolina. Look, with me, I can adapt. I can adapt to anything. Being that I've grown up in Brooklyn, New York, I will always be a Brooklyn New York, however you want to call it, a New Yorker. But I realize as I've grown and become the woman I am today, is that change. You need change. You need growth. And as I've elevated to where I am now, and I look back, I'm like, I need this. I need this change. And that's why I'm following the lead-ins of my husband. And I just adapt. I can adapt anywhere. Like, you have to make that in your mind. You have to adapt to change. And that's my conclusion of the whole matter. So I'm here, I'm just following. Like,
but when
I don't
you
feel
say
no type of way.
When you say you're just following, are you just following blindly?
No.
Or are you following what has been an adventure, a mission statement of progress for the family?
Yes, that's what I did.
Because a lot of times people, they talk about follow, but a woman should only follow a man that actually has a plan.
Yeah, I believe I mentioned that.
Because if a man don't have a plan and you blindly following him, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's going to lead you into a pit.
But
right?
you also have to believe in your husband.
That's another thing that women don't do. They don't believe in their man.
Because some women may be afraid to take that jump. Mm-hmm. And they might not think they have something to fall on. So
right.
In my situation, I believe, so we'll correct that. I believe in my husband, so therefore I follow suit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to get into, we know the move in North Carolina. We understand that it's about family. Mm-hmm. It's about providing a better outlook on life, making the children experience what it's like to live in a house rather than in an apartment.
Right.
There's nothing wrong if you live in an apartment. We all got to start somewhere. My point is, we've been there, and it was time to expand.
Elevate.
Right? So I want the children to be able to walk outside and there's lawn. There's a nice area. There's no gunshots. There's no violence. There's no crime every minute. This is what I want them to grow up in.
They see the difference.
They see the difference.
And they appreciate it.
Right? They all have their own room. Mm-hmm. They all are able to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. They still have things that they got to adjust with, like with school. They're doing fine in the school, but they're still adjusting. Now, speaking of school, right? Something happened recently, right? And I want to address it. In North Carolina, right? It's a very interesting place. Now, I haven't really experienced racism But I've seen some things that I can say is racism, or I can assume maybe certain individuals might be racist. But
It'll just give
something
off that
recently
vibe.
happened.
Yeah,
Was that?
it just gives off that vibe. Like,
It gives off the vibe, but sometimes that vibe is real because your discernment is telling you that.
yeah.
The school where our children go to sent out a memo to
The parents.
the parents regarding an issue. And I want to briefly talk about it. We might have to do a part 2 or whatever the case is to this video because it seems like time fly by. And I don't even know if my phone is even recording right now. To be honest with you, I don't even know if it's still recording. You want to read that thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to let her read it so that you can understand what's going on. Because it opened my eyes to something that is very serious. And I want parents to be aware of this because...
Right, because you could be coming from another state.
Yeah, you could be coming from New York to North Carolina ready to live this life, and you may be walking into a situation where there may be a possibility your children may experience racism. So you don't have to mention the school,
Yeah.
but I want you to read.
This came as a surprise to me when I see this.
Yeah.
Not really a surprise, but like caught me off guard. Like, because I wasn't even thinking about these type of things like racism. And now, especially like your children have to deal with these things.
Right.
So it's
Read
like,
it.
Okay.
Read it loud, too, so they
It
can
says,
hear.
Good afternoon, 5th graders, parents. I want to reach out to share
Don't make a mistake and mention the school's name.
I know. I want to reach out to share a discussion I had with our 5th grade team today. After dealing with some students making fun of others for making mistakes, we investigated issues involving the use of racial slurs, including black monkey and the
Black
N-word.
what? Black what?
Black monkey.
Black what?
Black monkey.
So students call kids black what?
Monkey. And the N-word.
And the what?
N-word.
And the what? For the people in the back.
N-word.
N-word. Okay.
I will share. I did say these words in my conversation as I asked who had even been called these names and others. We discussed the beliefs of our school with honor, integrity, value, and excellence. And then I spent some time sharing the information from the RSS Code of Conduct. The use of racial slurs is a violation of racial harassment in the RSS Code of Conduct. Students now know this carries a minimum punishment of 2 days of out-of-school suspension. They also learned today that when they go to middle school, the minimum consequences become 5 days out of school suspension. 2 students are receiving these consequences due to their choices, but I met with the entire grade as there have been numerous issues of making fun of others, and usually in the context of roasting, a popular thing found on social media outlets.
That's pretty much the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we have in a nutshell is a memo that was pretty much sent out to all the parents regarding 5th graders teasing students for
slurs of
I guess not being able to do certain things in class, maybe poor performance, maybe they didn't solve an answer, or maybe they read something wrong, or whatever the case is, right? They're making fun of these students, but they're using the terms black monkey and the N-word. So now what does that say? That tells us as parents, a father and a mother of color, that students that are white are calling black girls and boys the N-word, and black monkeys. And this is happening at the school where our 3 girls are.
Wow.
Now think about that. We came from New York to North Carolina to escape the madness, the crime, the violence, only to move out into a suburban neighborhood where you would think that the parents are all civilized human beings, but their children are calling young black kids black monkey and the N-word. So what does that say about even the community where I live in? It says there's a possibility that I live around racists. You see that? Because if children are exhibiting this behavior in school, what does that say about the parents?
They are racist.
The parents are racist, and this is what they do. So I feel personally that the only reason why the school sent out that memo is because 3 black girls just arrived at the school, and they do not want this to happen. Now, some of you might be asking, did your daughters experience this? No.
No.
My daughters did not experience this. Nobody called my daughters the N-word or black monkey, but they hear these things in the school. They hear these things. So they know, they hear things, but they're not alarmed by that stuff because we teach them the good, the bad, and the ugly of life.
And I let them know that this is not normal.
Right.
This is not supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But we live in a world, so...
We live in a world where there are racists. So as parents, all you can do is just teach your children right from wrong, right? I'm not going to teach them to hate people or to become violent because someone's calling them names or calling them an N-word. If anything, they'll just know to tell the teachers. But one thing I won't have is my children playing with racists. Meaning if a parent is a racist and their children are racist, I'm not going to make my kids go outside to interact with a racist. I'm not going to do that. And this is why a lot of times as parents, you got to really watch who your children hang around.
And you have to protect them.
You not only protect them, but you got to make sure that they are loved in the home and understand that they have everything they need in the home. And
sometimes you have to inform them because, they don't know. Like coming from New York, like when I first heard this, I never knew, I wasn't even prepared to hear all this type of stuff.
Well, I am.
So, no, I'm like, that wasn't even on my mind.
Well, it should be. You're a parent.
That's true, but when I heard the message and I read the text, I was like, oh, and then it alarmed me.
Let me explain what she's doing.
Yeah.
What she's doing is what a lot of black folk do. They have this misconception that if a person is white, that they're right and that they would never do such a thing. There's such thing as the transatlantic slave trade. There is such thing as black people being racially profiled. There is racism in the world.
No, but I wasn't even thinking about that.
Well, it's not about thinking about it. It's in the world.
Yeah, it's in the world, but...
You're in the South.
Yeah, that's true.
So these are things you not only supposed to understand, but you also supposed to be prepared for, no different than having car insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
So at the end of the day, you're supposed to be aware that there's a possibility that this can happen. But to happen in a school where you put your girls and a memo is being put out where kids are calling black kids monkey, black monkey. Obviously, they're not saying this to white kids.
Right.
So they're literally targeting black kids at the school our children are at. So we thinking we moving from New York in a beautiful community, nice area, because again, the community we live in is beautiful, but it comes with a price.
Right. See, those are the things I wasn't even...
And this is what a lot of people misunderstand. You could move to the best community. It could be beautiful, manicured lawns, nice houses, everybody got nice cars, but you're around people that may not like you because you're black. How you going to deal with those issues? My solution is roll solo. My solution is stick with your family and be about your family business. Me personally, when I'm out here in this environment, in this community, I'm just focusing on my family. I don't come here to interact with people. I don't come out here to go golfing with neighbors. I don't want to go next door to see what they're doing. I don't really care. My job is just to empower my family. It's unfortunate when things like this happening, but at the same time, you got to be proactive. I'm not assuming everyone is a racist around me, but my point is it puts me on high alert. Right. Because now if this is happening in schools where the children are going to learn and children are calling children black monkey and N-words, and the principals have to put out memos about this for fifth graders, these children are learning this at home. So there's a possibility that there's a lot of adults, even in the community where I'm at, because the school is not too far away. You know what I mean? It's literally close by. So there's a possibility that children and their parents within this community may share those same sentiments regarding black people. And what this does, it makes it very difficult for even us to trust anyone because you don't know who's who. You don't know what their intentions are.
In a way, it's good. It's good. In a way, it's good.
Well,
you know,
I
like, cause like at first I couldn't understand like your perceptive of what you're trying to do, you know, but now that you explained it.
She have this mindset of thinking that I'm just trying to avoid people.
Right.
I'm trying to teach her to understand everybody don't have your best interests at heart. Sometimes you can move to a community and you might have neighbors that are ultra friendly.
Right.
They're too
like
friendly and they're
friendly.
talkative.
Yeah.
And you might think they're just being polite and friendly when really they're just trying to figure you out. They're just trying to get to know how they can move with you.
And it makes sense.
To see who you are before they decide if they even want to be your friend.
So these are the things that he showed me. So
I try to teach her, don't put your trust in people so fast. Because people will line you up just to see what you're about.
Yep.
It's like keeping up with the Joneses. A lot of times in suburban communities, people are too busy competing with one another. You buy a car, they buy a car. You do this, they do that. And it's just competitive jealousy. And it happens every day.
Well, sometimes neighbors, they like to control
other neighbors.
Other neighbors.
Because, again, it goes back to you showing weakness. Mm-hmm. When you are a family, you got to be tightly knit. You cannot be talking with other families, especially about your family affairs and your family business. When you move to a community, don't be too talkative with neighbors about your house and your family and your kids if they're not going to be talkative about their family and their kids. Right. There got to be an even exchange of information, because if you're giving all your information to other people, guess what they're doing? They're taking your information and they're giving it to everybody in the entire community. That's what's actually going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes
so
sense.
What we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, because this video been going on for a minute and I don't even know if it's even recorded. It's recorded in 4K. So we're going to come back with a part 2. If you've been enjoying the show, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Ringo TV Reactions. Also subscribe to our new channel where we're going to be doing content just like this in this setting, but with multiple cameras. Go and subscribe to We Gotta Talk TV. We Gotta Talk TV. Subscribe today over there. There's no content over there right now, but make sure you subscribe to keep it locked. But we're going to come back with a part 2 where we're going to talk more about this situation, more about racism, schools, parenting, and the ins and outs of what we got to do to guide and protect our kids in environments that might be new territory. Some of you might be moving to North Carolina and think, oh, I'm going to come on down to Charlotte and everything going to be okay, because everybody's moving